Hey guys, welcome to the Two Broke Gamers podcast.
The main show this time.
The main show. I'm Steve,
I'm Ricky.
and let's get this started.
Hell yeah. First we're gonna talk about the Nintendo Direct. Of course, we got other things to talk about, like other consoles. Duh.
Yeah.
And of course, a big game I think that came out this past weekend. I'm not sure. Something
Was it? It's
some
something about shooting. I don't
something
know.
on the Game Boy Advance, something like that. I think
Oh yeah, that advance game, right? That one.
Yeah, and then other games to follow as well. But first, of course, we have to be Nintendo fanboys to start and talk about the Nintendo Direct. Nintendo, as Satoru Iwata says it. Now, the Nintendo Direct was kind of repetitive because it was good. It announced something brand new, which was exciting that people were hyped for a while.
Yeah.
Majora's Mask 3D, man.
Yeah, I mean, if you've played Majora's Mask, you're going to know exactly how to play this game and how to beat it. It's not like they're adding anything new to it.
Yeah.
And it looks exactly the same as it did on the 64, so it's not like you're getting updated graphics or anything either.
That little update, a little bit.
It looks pretty similar.
The resolution's a little up-res a little bit. Link looks a little different. It's the same thing they did with the Ocarina of Time 3D.
It's polygons, man.
Yeah.
Square faces.
I just still feel like those two games shouldn't have come out on the 3DS. They should have came out on the Wii U, HD graphics and everything. Especially Ocarina of Time. That's considered one of the best games. You got to show it with a little more respect, in all honesty, not handheld.
Yeah, but I don't know. There are more people who own 3DSs than Wii U's.
I guess that's also the other thing. But the Majora's Mask, though, I've admitted it on Twitter the other day when the Direct happened that I've only played the game once, depressingly so. This was actually the starting of my life getting busy, where I can only play one game, beat it, and then move on to the next. And I beat Majora's Mask once, and I remember beating it without any player's guides or anything like that. And it was such a beautiful game, and I really wish I had the time to play it again. I do want to get this 3DS version, but I also wanted to get the 3DS Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
We'll see how that plays out. But I really want to play that game one more time, at least one more time.
You know, it's weird. I've never really been the kind of person who's sat there and beaten a game several times.
Mm.
I've always just been like the whole play once and move on thing, except for Fire Emblem.
Oh, okay.
That's like the only game where I've actually sat there and beaten it multiple times. Oh, and Pokemon, I guess you can say. I've done several runs.
What I like about replaying a game is the fact that, it's the story that's happening all over again. And I love replaying. It's like basically replaying a movie that you're a part of, and you advance the story. And
I guess.
And also in certain games too, you challenge yourself. It's like, could I beat this in a shorter time? Can I beat this in a certain percentage? Like, I remember Donkey Kong Country was big for me because, how can I get to 100%? Like, I remember saving my original save file and saying, okay, this is what I got the first time around. I got maybe 80%, whatever. I want to go for 100, that type of thing. And
in games like that where you can have multiple save files, that's fine because you can compare the two. But Pokemon, you could never have multiple save files.
That was the crap about Pokemon.
And even now, with everything that they have, you still can't have multiple.
You have to have
save
multiple
files.
games in order for you to have multiple save files. It's like, I do like multiple save files, and Pokemon should have one, especially if you want to be able to relive everything and do everything all over again. But instead, it's like, nope, do everything once, keep your Pokemon, and train them. Damn it.
That, or you can do what I do and just have 2 games.
You have 3.
Well, I mean, I don't use the digital one. I just have my 2, really. And so basically I play through my Y is like my main copy. And then when I just replay X over and over. And then when I'm done with it, I trade everything to my Y.
Gotcha.
Actually, now that there's Pokebank, everything's just in my Pokebank.
Yeah, so you don't even need the other games anymore.
Yeah.
Now, so then there was another game that was talked about at E3, codenamed Steam, which is cool looking, but I don't think it's my type of game. It had stars Abraham Lincoln, and you use Steam to
I skipped
stuff.
that one. Because I caught the Direct late, so I had to watch it on YouTube, and then I was like, I don't care about this. I skipped it.
It looked all right. It has Abraham Lincoln in it, supposedly other big presidential names and celebrities and stuff, or whatever the hell whatever. I don't know. It's nothing that really interests me. I think it's a good game for a few people that want a different type of game. It might be too different for my taste. I don't know. Maybe it's an interesting game. I'll try a demo of it, maybe.
I am not interested in this game at all.
Yeah.
Like I said, I didn't watch the Direct live. I wasn't home, so I caught it. Like I caught a rerun on YouTube, and when I got to that part, I was like, "This looks dumb. Skip."
I don't blame you for that. Now, after that, they showed Ultimate NES Remix. Now, I was very hard to convince that this NES Remix was going to be worth buying a third time, even though the first 2 times on the Wii U and they were great, and then this third one looked like the same rehash but something else different. Now, this one actually has something interesting where you have NES Remix, where you have the top favorites from the other 2 games that are on the Wii U, which is cool, makes it portable. Okay, maybe that could give it a little leeway for that. But now it actually gives you a Famicom remix mode, which I think that's actually a pretty cool feature, where you play the Famicom versions of each of the games that you have on there. Plus, you get to keep their old sound effects and everything. Because remember,
cool.
Famicom had a different type of architecture and type of system than the NES, where the NES had cartridges. The Famicom was working with diskettes, so the sounds were different. So Zelda sound effects and everything in Zelda's music was a lot different in the original than in the Zelda cartridge version.
I didn't have a Famicom, so I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't have it either. It's Japan only.
Oh yeah, well I'm just saying I don't know what the difference is. So
it's research, man. Now I always was curious to see what the difference were. And when you hear the music and everything, it's like, wow, that's weird. But the thing is too, it's also Nintendo was saving money back in the days.
Hell, I didn't even have an NES. I don't even know what it was in the first place. So to me, this would be playing all new games to me.
Yeah. Now this seems interesting. Now they talked about Speed Mario again, which is kind of like okay, but I mean, maybe I'll wait for it to go on sale. I don't think this is a buy right away for me type of the game that they went over.
Yeah.
They went on to Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker. They showed 70 stages, and they're supposed to have over 70 stages. Now, this game was cool. It looks like a very interesting game, but I really hope it's not $60. This game looks like a $30 buy, that's it. It can't be more than that.
Yeah. It looks like a bunch of mini games.
It does. It's a bunch of maze mini games, and I mean, nothing to take away from it. It looks pretty cool. Toadette is in it.
I was about to say, I do like the fact that Toadette's in it, because
Yeah.
Toadette's one of my favorite Nintendo characters.
And that's it. I mean, nothing really is interesting. Just the fact that this looks like an add-on type of game, like a DLC than a separate game. And it just, like I said, it better not be more than $30. If not, I'm waiting till it's $30.
Yeah,
for me to get
you can wait for it.
Yeah. And they also, funny enough, finally announced officially on video, because they've announced it before in other sites and on Nintendo's site, but they've announced it on video that that you can buy games for the eShop on the website. So you go there, you buy it with your credit card on the internet, whether you have Firefox or Chrome or IE.
Whatever you use, I don't judge you. Yes, I do.
IE sucks.
Yes.
You can do that, buy the game, get the code, download it, whatever. Amiibos. Big announcements for Amiibos, even though this isn't the first time, because a day or so before all the this announcement, they've already announced what the Amiibos can do.
Yeah.
So and how and all the compatibility, because we talked about last week that the Amiibos are good to use on certain games, and that's it. Very few Amiibos, and it's just that's not really exciting. But then it's more Amiibos, and then they talked about it working for Mario Kart 8. Now, I was thinking, because I was just Steve was saying, he wouldn't buy Mario Kart unless Star Fox is in it or something. If it's really Nintendo Kart 8, Smash Kart 8 or whatever.
That would be Super Nintendo. What was that? Nintendo All-Star Kart? Something like that.
But now I saw that the Star Fox one could be used. It's yes, it could be a character.
Yeah, for a second I thought, I was like, can I be Fox McCloud? No, you can't.
No, what it is you can use your Amiibo to get skins and suits for your Mii character.
For your Mii character, exactly.
It's okay, what if I use Yoshi? I don't use any costumes for him. I don't use a Mii ever. I don't know. It's just weird. And then you use the Captain Falcon to get Captain Falcon's outfit. I'm just
or even Samus Aran.
Yeah, you get her outfit. It's
the way he said Samus Aran, I was like.
Yeah, that's Bill.
I want to punch him in the face.
Now, but they did make Mario Kart 8 super hype, and I cannot wait for it. I'm going to be doing this show when this thing comes out, so I can't, you know what I mean? I can't play all this stuff until maybe Friday or Saturday or something like that, but I really cannot wait. I actually saw SNES Rainbow Roads, so now there's officially 3 Rainbow Roads, the first Mario Kart game with 3 Rainbow Roads in the damn game. This is awesome. And I cannot wait, because I've always wanted to see a high-res Super Nintendo Rainbow Road. I love that Rainbow Road. I hated it on Super Nintendo, but it's just that throwback. It's the first one. It's been redone on the 3DS, which is was really nice and a really good touch. But I can't wait to hear the music for it, and I can't wait to actually play the game. They actually showed off the F-Zero stage, which looks very good.
The F-Zero, the Mute City stage looks so good.
I would play just for that game. Just for that stage. That stage looks amazing.
I was also really impressed with the Zelda stage too.
And then the first reveal of Link on a bike, on his bike.
That was awesome.
And he does these stunts and he pulls out his sword every time. It's what? You could just do that?
No, I thought there was one where he does the Triforce too.
Yeah, the Triforce was so random. I was like, what?
He's like, what up? Like he's like flashing gang signs with a dress. Where he's like, yo, what up? I'm like, oh, wow, okay, cool.
Oh man! And the Triforce comes over his head too. I was like, what the hell is? What is this?
Flashing gang signs with a Triforce.
Oh man! But this Mario Kart's really hyped though. I can't wait for that DLC to finally come. I mean, I feel like the one that's coming out in May next year might not even be as hype as the one coming out for this year.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the one coming out in May is the one with the Animal Crossing.
That's it.
And I'm pretty sure they're gonna have an Animal Crossing like course probably too.
Yeah. If Tom Nook's not in the game though.
Tom Nook.
Tommy Nook, man.
Darn. Oh, they also had the Excite Bike.
Yes, they announced that before too.
Yeah, but they showed you like how it works, I guess.
Yeah, they showed a little bit more of it. When they moved on from Mario Kart, they talked about the Kirby and the Rainbow Curse, and they talked about it being multiplayer this time, which they hadn't announced. So that was cool. The game looks slightly interesting. I don't know if that's really a must get for me.
Nah, probably not. I mean, I haven't really been in like the last Kirby game that I actually played was the Crystal Shards.
You didn't even
64.
play the Triple Deluxe, the one I was on that.
Nah.
I heard the Triple Deluxe is really good, and I heard the Yarn one.
I heard Epic Yarn was actually really good. I just never got around to playing it.
Yeah, I know. They also talked about the Amiibos working for the Rainbow Curse, and also Amiibo working for Hyrule Warriors. Now, we did talk about last week that the Link Amiibo was going to work for Hyrule Warriors.
Right, and they gave specific information. Now, when you use your Link Amiibo, you get the spin top.
But not only that, there's more.
Well, that's just the Link one.
Yeah, there's more Amiibos now that's released.
Yeah, they confirm now you can use every Amiibo in Hyrule Warriors. You're just going to get a random item.
That's, I think, it's just like such an ad. It's such a hacky add-on. I don't know. I felt like they really could have done better at that instead of, okay, you get your Mario Amiibo, you get an item. Okay, I spent like all this money.
Well, yeah, they should have given you like, you get like a Mario specific, like a fireball.
Yeah, that would have been pretty cool.
Yeah, or Fox McCloud, you get a laser.
You get the R-Wing, screw that, just like in Bayonetta.
Yeah, or you like a reflector shield. That'd be cool.
I'm really hoping that they do advance this Amiibo technology because the stuff that they're adding on now to the existing games,
it's a little underwhelming.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you get costumes and items. It's like, well, I'm spending $12 for this thing to work on multiple games. I mean, give me more than that.
This is the more they give you about Amiibos, the more I'm thinking they created these for Smash and they're trying to use them for anything else they can.
Just anything.
Yeah, like these are like people. They were like, oh, let's make these for Smash. You can train them and have them be fighters. That'd be cool. What else can we use them in? Give them costumes in Mario Kart. Yeah, like. Come on.
It would have been cool characters. And maybe the DLC thing killed that idea, but I mean, come on now. I don't know.
I would have liked to play as Fox.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
On the R-Wing Kart.
The R-Wing Kart. Except I don't think I'd be able to deal with his voice acting, though.
Oh, man.
Fire!
Oh, God.
Jeez. Every time.
Speaking of that, they showed the Duck Hunt Dog trailer finally, which is a really cool trailer. I like that.
I was expecting better.
Really?
Yes.
I liked it, especially with the Zapper scene, and it showed his Smash, basically. I thought it was pretty cool.
There's a lot more you could have done with that.
I don't know. But here's the thing, too. At the end of the video, they actually announced Duck Hunt coming to the Virtual Console, which was kind of interesting.
That was interesting.
Now, I don't believe that game was released individual. If it was, correct me. I don't know. I actually didn't take the time to research that, but I mean, I could correct myself. But it's actually going to be a standalone game that you can get in the Virtual Console. Now, it should have been released, but I feel like it's going to be a lot easier because you're using a Wii remote that you can put in your screen, but it's not like the same thing as the Zapper because the Zapper used to be connected to the NES, and then you had to shoot it at your screen, but then it used basically the flash to detect if you hit the target or not, which is why the game was super hard to try to get if you were standing at a distance, which is why the only thing you could do was come up to your screen and
shoot it directly there.
Yeah, that was the best way you could win the game. And now the thing is, I mean, now nobody's going to get that real challenge anymore with the Wii remote because all you got to do is point and boom, and you can get it.
Unless you're bad.
Yeah, if you're bad at Duck Hunt with a Wii remote, I don't know what to tell you.
He'll laugh. Well, he'll laugh at you. So
yeah, that was that.
You can feel bad that way.
Yeah, and then you'll know what we dealt with when we were younger.
Yeah.
Nintendo talked about the Nindy games. Haha, you get the pun?
Nindy.
Yeah, they're indies, but for Nintendo. Ha. They talked about a lot of independent games. They also got it to a point where there's an independent trophy, gaming trophy that's in Smash Bros, which is a celebration. Because in the end of the day, Smash Bros. Isn't about the competition. It's really a celebration of gaming history,
Yeah.
you know, and especially in Nintendo's history.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, for them to get the independent game characters and such in there is really awesome. Just bring Shovel Knight.
Just Shovel Knight.
Just-
Yeah.
People actually do want Shovel Knight in the game, funny enough.
As an assist trophy, I'd accept it.
I think he could actually work as a character, though.
As an assist trophy, I would accept it.
All right. I mean, hell, Rayman's a trophy.
As
but
an assist trophy,
you know what?
I would accept it.
now, you know what, though? Rayman, I mean, everybody's been announced as a trophy, has been, you know, confirmed as a character. Mewtwo as a trophy.
Rayman's not in the game.
DLC, dude.
Stop it.
There's DLC.
Stop it.
I love pissing Steve off with that. Speaking of DLC, Monster Hunter 4 introduced this weird type of DLC.
I did not understand
I
this.
just didn't either. It was like these cat characters that are dressed as Mario and Luigi that have hammers, and they run around and I don't know what the hell. I don't play Monster Hunter, so I don't know what the hell they are. But it didn't make any sense to me. I'm seeing this video like
They're like meowing at you and stuff.
yeah, it's weird. I was like, is this ice climbers? Are they confirming ice climbers indirectly? What's
I don't
going
know.
on
It
here?
was so weird.
And then they went on to Miyamoto and Pikmin.
Pikmin.
Yeah, with the short movies that were that are shown in the Tokyo Film Festival, and now you know they're gonna release it for the 3DS and the Wii U because Miyamoto's got to make money. So
Yeah, I mean, it's what $5?
it's $5.99 for each version. So there's a version for the 3DS that's in 3D that you can watch on your 3DS for $5. You can buy in the eShop.
or
The Wii U version, which is in beautiful high definition.
yeah, right. The beautiful.
Yeah, they actually highlighted that word, beautiful high definition, for the same price. But if you got a 3DS one, you get the flip note storyboard, which there's a part of me that's like, did Miyamoto really use flip note to make the storyboard? Does he really use his 3DS that much?
Maybe.
But then also too, Pikmin. Oh, God damn it!
Yes, the Pikmin.
You had it. You had it in my head. You planted it. You planted that damn seed. But Pikmin now has a demo. The Pikmin 3 demo is out, even though the game's been out for like a year or so.
like 2 years.
But now the demo was released after the direct. So yay! I mean,
yeah, if you wanted to try Pikmin, go ahead.
but you know what? I actually got that for free when I got Mario Kart 8 because I had like 2 out of the 4 games that they were offering, and it was either Wii Party U, which is a game I probably never play, or Pikmin. And I decided to use Pikmin to get a free download. And I never played anything in the Pikmin series before, and I really liked that game.
Yeah, I played the first one on GameCube,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just like, oh, there's like a time limit. Okay, I don't like time limit games. I like to explore. So I was like, oh, well, whatever. And I never, I got to like day 7, and I was like, all right, it's time for Melee. Because my GameCube came bundled with Pikmin and Melee.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, let me try Pikmin first, because I was really excited for that game.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, the time limit got to day 7. I was like, all right, I'm done with this. Time for Melee. And then never looked back. So I think my Pikmin, if you were to load it up right now, you're still on day 7.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I mean,
Which means I obviously didn't buy 2 or 3 after that.
Actually, yeah, when I was playing the game, I didn't know it was time limit 2 until I saw it, and I was like, oh, shit, there's a time limit. I didn't know that. And then your day goes on like that. So if you didn't complete anything in that day's mission, you kind of have to do it again in the next day. And it's like, wait, what? No, wait, I want to go back. Like, I
Yeah.
like to explore my games too, but at this point, it's like, screw it. I'll just do the first run, and then I'll just do it faster the next time, you know?
Yeah.
They also continue with Xenoblade Chronicles X.
That looks so nice.
It kind of reminds me of Final Fantasy in some way, some of the newer ones.
I don't
but
know, but it just looks so nice.
It looked good. I'm not gonna lie. It's coming out in 2015, so we're one step closer for it being an announced date. It was announced for like before the Wii U had come out, so
Yeah.
now it's like almost to completion. So there we go. And now finally at the end of the direct, Splatoon was shown. Now this game at that moment during the direct became a game that I was like, maybe I'll check it out. To oh my god, I really want this game now.
It looks so nice.
It looks awesome. It looks amazing. I like this game, and it looks so cool.
It just looks like a lot of fun.
It does. Like
Like,
even as a single player or as a multiplayer game, like
Oh,
it
it's
looks
both.
really cool. Yeah, that's
They
what I mean.
announced that they a lot of people thought, oh, it's going to be a multiplayer game, but they announced in the direct that there will be a single player, and you're facing against like squid robots.
Yeah, like, and I think all that is really cool. I do like this concept of this game, and that's another Miyamoto creation, man.
Definitely,
Miyamoto's still doing it.
definitely making me interested in this game.
Because you know what it is? Miyamoto also talked about in that direct that, yeah, he really wanted to make a lot more games that were more focused on the gamepad because I guess everybody else doesn't care about it.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like, all right, so I'll do it, guys. God, I mean, jeez. It's so hard for you to work on a gamepad? Fine, I'll do this shit. Watch, look, boom, Splatoon. Happy?
Right.
Like, Star Fox, boom, you happy?
Yeah, well, I was about to say, is there anything you wanted to hear from this direct that you did not hear about?
I think everything's been said, unless something else would have been updated. Like Smash has already been like almost
Right,
gonna come out.
they did the whole Smash Extravaganza thing.
Yeah, that's already almost done. Star Fox and Zelda, but they're not
Right,
going to talk about that until June.
Well, those are the two I wanted to hear about.
But they're not going to talk about that until E3. In all honesty.
Yeah, I really just wanted to hear more about at least some progress, how they're coming out, like what's going on. But I really want to know about Star Fox. That's all.
Yeah.
And Zelda U.
Zelda.
So I'm sure that's what it's going to be called.
Yeah, it's got to be coming out November. Well, they want it for next year, so it's going to be coming out November, of course. A year from now, we're going to be talking about Zelda like crazy.
I guess.
Yeah, but that depends on how much is done because they're either going to have to talk about it at E3 or they're going to have to talk about it in one of the directs before E3.
Yeah.
In all honesty.
I still would have liked some information.
Yeah. Yes. I don't know. Some additional news that came from the direct, like the Ultimate NES Remix. If you get the physical or digital copy, you get a free Ultimate to NES Remix theme, which is kind of cool. I think that might be worth it because those themes, in all honesty, are not worth it.
Yeah.
they're not worth it.
Oh, and they
to
announced the Sonic Boom theme too.
me. Yeah. Again, like it's
You have
not
a weird looking Sonic on your home 3DS.
have a Diesel Knuckles. The Brolic Knuckles.
Oh, and there's also announced a European bundle for Majora's Mask.
Yes, which it's upsetting because, the last exclusive thing that Europe got was the Bayonetta bundle that didn't come to America, and people were upset about that. So
Yeah, but this one, it's really cool. You get like a pin, you get your game, and you get this really nice like poster.
yeah,
Which the poster looks so nice.
so hot. I was so mad. I'm like, really, Europe? Really?
I think you get some kind of book too.
I remember when we used to get hot freaking releases, like the gold cartridges and limited edition stuff. Like the actual Majora's Mask I have, I didn't get that because I was broke at the time, but a friend of mine actually sold it to me for like $15, and it was the gold cartridge with the hologram sticker.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, yeah, 15, hell yeah, I'll buy that. Meanwhile, it's going for like $80 now or something like that. I don't know how much it's going for.
15, here you go, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. He gave me the player's guide. I was like, I don't need that shit.
Who needs a player's guide?
Yeah, man. So yeah, but from here, I mean, the direct, it was just kind of straightforward. Not a lot of new news. Good. I mean, they just kind of keeping up the hype because I think Nintendo's got a little streak going here. It's got something going. It's rolling with it, man.
Yeah.
And I mean, right now they're second place to Sony still, and I mean, with Smash coming out, who knows where that's gonna go from there? And then to continue that thunder. Or roll with the ball, like just whatever the hell euphemism or whatever the fuck like cliche phrase you want me to say, like they have to really just do it, and because there's a lot more downloadable games that they're trying to push, a lot more indie games that they're trying to push, and they have to try to push that to their audience and try to convince them not only to download these games, but to get a hard drive to download these games.
Yeah.
And then to just enjoy all these games because there's a lot of good games out on the Wii U right now. And I don't know if a lot of people are getting them or not. Like, they don't release those stats, Nintendo.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I don't even have a Wii U.
Yeah.
But I'm planning on getting one. And then I'm going to invest in quite a few games.
Mm-hmm. All right, so still speaking of Miyamoto and Pikmin, there's some sort of sly, casually mentioned Pikmin reference in Miyamoto's Q&A about the Pikmin movies. He just said, continually launching campaigns after the release of software will lay the groundwork for the next iteration of Pikmin in the future. And needless to say, we want to be one of the motivations for potential consumers to purchase the Wii U. We are making a variety of different efforts.
Pikmin 4.
Yeah, I would think so. But I don't know if Pikmin could really move consoles, but it's an interesting game that I think you kind of have to push down people's throats in all honesty. Because I didn't budge until 3, and that's because I got it for free.
Yeah.
So in all honesty, and I regret not. I really want to get the other 2 games now because
I'll
it's
give you the first one.
Yeah, like I don't mind that because in all honesty, I want to play those games first because I feel like if I don't play those 2 games, I might as well get the part of the story.
Apparently, I've been told that the first one, the first 2 have nothing to do with the third one.
Yeah, the third one actually, it's like
The third one's Alf. It's not even Olimar.
Yeah, it's like a whole different crew.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. But I still feel like I missed out. I want to play, in order. Why start with 3 if you could start with 1?
I'll give you one.
All
You
right.
find 2 on your own.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I got to find that on my own. That was the only one that came in the Wii, right? Or that
The V.
Okay. Now, this was talking about Nintendo. For some reason, Reggie was talking. All right, so this is an interesting quote that Reggie had talked about the future of the Wii U. Our mentality is fairly soon after launch, after we launch new hardware, we're always beginning to think about what's next. That's an ongoing process for us. In the end, what galvanizes us to move is when our developers have a great gaming experience that can't be done on current platform. We're not there yet on the Wii U. The experiments that Shigeru Miyamoto showed at E3 shows that there's a lot of innovation to be mined with the Wii U. We showed off the beginnings of a Zelda game to the Wii U. We have a lot more content to create for the Wii U, and we're always thinking about what's coming up next. So the Wii U needs to hit its potential before they consider, I guess, something else.
Maybe. It's his quote, so.
Now, funny enough, talking about their sales, there's a high increase in digital sales like Smash Bros. And Bayonetta, but the majority of their sales is still physical copies. Come on, you think Nintendo in digital content? But so far, I mean, that's pretty good for what Nintendo is. This is the quote. Retail is simply the majority of business for us. It's going on in that. But it's interesting, by game, at different points in time, you see different consumer reaction. Smash Bros. For 3DS, consumers wanted the game immediately. They didn't want to have to spend the time to get in the car and drive to retail and get it. So our digital percent for that game is quite high. About 20% of the games sold here in the US were digital, which is a pretty significant piece. Compare that to Bayonetta 2. That's a huge game that could take up a large part of the memory in the 32 gig Wii U. That's a game with a digital percent on the lower side, today about 10% or so. Our mentality is, we want the consumer to have the choice based on what makes sense for you and what makes sense for the type of game it is.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Reggie also talking about wanting the third-party games like Call of Duty and other blockbuster IPs. I would love to answer the question a couple of ways because he was asked about that. The third parties are bringing multi-platform content to our platform. Watch Dogs from Ubisoft as an example. I would love to have Call of Duty in our platform. I would love to have any big blockbuster multi-platform titles. But I have to say more specifically, I want games that provide a differentiated consumer experiences. If you look at the other two competitive platforms, fundamentally, what's the difference? When you look at either one, either by themselves doesn't have a lot of exclusive content. They both have a lot of shared content. Look at it from a standpoint of what don't they have? They don't have our games. They don't have Mario or Zelda. I'd rather be where Nintendo is, where the differentiated platform, differentiated setups experiences can provide it uniquely to the consumer. Let those other guys battle out over, which visual representation of Call of Duty is more compelling. I like our chances of having a differentiated console and a differentiated series of experiences.
I've always considered Nintendo to be like the odd, like the redheaded stepchild of video games almost, but not in a bad way.
Yeah.
It's because he's right. When you looked at, the PS2 and the Xbox, the PS3 and the Xbox 360, like they've always been the same thing. It's just like, which one do you prefer more? Whereas the GameCube was always different.
Mm-hmm.
The Wii was different.
Super different.
The Wii U is different from the PS4 and the Xbox One. So it's just like Nintendo is its own gaming thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that. I like the fact that there's a lot. He's right. There's a lot more original content that no one else has on Nintendo.
Yeah, and look at we talked about this story, these stories before on the other two consoles, where it's like, one's gonna get the timed release versus the other console that's gonna get it like months later or something like that. And it's just and that's ridiculous at this point. Like, just release it all. You're both basically the same console, Now, talking about Nintendo's still talking about a lot of things. Miyamoto was talking in a Q&A from the financial reports, answering a question about software releases and spin-offs. Our theme today is how effectively we can materialize our experiences to commercialize our products. This is something I often internally refer to as a spin-off software. But while we make use of our major game franchises, we want to support our character IP to increase the number of games we develop and release by also creating relatively smaller scale but fun games to play. We're making preparations to release software within a franchise so that fans in the series will not need to wait for, say, 3 years in order to play a new experience in that franchise. I guess, namely referring to Zelda at that point.
Yeah.
Talking about the collaboration with additional developers. Finally, even when creating our own franchises, we have been working with a number of outside companies. Looking at this year alone, we have started to work with second and third parties that we have not collaborated with before. Since we can collaborate with an increasing number of outside companies, we are able to now process to develop a number of games that will become key software for us. I have a solid feeling that the Wii U will have a rich software lineup in 2015. We will do our best. So that's also Bandai Namco with Smash Bros, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Koei Tecmo with Hyrule Warriors. And I guess maybe it's the fact that they're releasing more of their characters because that's the characters that's making their money. So releasing, instead of waiting 3 years, like he's saying, for another game like Zelda, the last game that came out was like, what, a year or two ago? 2-3 years ago?
Skyward Sword, whichever year that was.
Yeah, like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
And then the other one that came out of the 3DS, Link Between Worlds, coming out last year. And then the new one coming out now. Like, they're just filling in the gaps with the new ones in the series with either remakes or spin-offs, which is not a bad idea.
Yeah, I think it's an alright idea because you're going to get the people. How excited are we for Majora's Mask?
Yeah, very
exactly.
excited. Yeah.
It's not a new game. We played it before. Get to play it again? Whoa, no way.
Yeah, and I mean, even Hyrule Warriors is kind of hyped for that. Even though you know what Dynasty Warriors is all about, but you still want to find out how different it is with Zelda characters.
Yeah.
That type of thing. So, I mean, they're right on the money with that. How far will it go? Or will it get tiring? That's my question. Will it get boring? Like, okay, here's another, like, now, because it's not like it's going to hit the point of Assassin's Creed and Call of Duty where they come out annually, slightly different, but still the same.
Same game.
Yeah, but now, hopefully it doesn't hit that point, or if it's going to hit the point of, if it's, how do I put this? If it comes out in every year, basically, like you have a new Zelda game every year, and it's either a remake or some sort of like game that's like another game. Like, Hyrule Warriors is Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah.
That type of thing.
I mean, as long as they keep it interesting, though.
Yeah, that's the key. As long as they can do almost or semi-original content with their spin-offs, that'd be great. Like, I hope they don't go the route of, okay, here's a new Mario game this year, and it's just like, and it's like something that gets way boring, and then it's like, oh, here's the new one in the series, that type of thing.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know if Nintendo might be smarter than that. They know what they're doing, but I'm hoping they don't go the route of Call of Duty and Assassin's Creed, where people are just gonna be like, oh, it's the same old stuff, man.
Yeah, pretty much. But I definitely like this. I like it for now. We'll see how I feel next year.
Yeah, exactly. Saruto Iwata had to address people's concerns about his weight. Now, we can probably post this picture on whatchamacallit, on the internet, duh, where basically people were really concerned about the guy's health because, in the Nintendo Direct, it was like, yeah, he looked kind of healthy. He looked normal and all that stuff. And then there was pictures of him from the investors meeting, and he looked skinny as hell. But I'm not too concerned with it because, he just got over like a major life-threatening disease that, had to get taken out of him. Like, so I wouldn't be surprised if he looked at that. I'd be like, oh, okay, he looks sickly, but I mean, he's feeling better. But he had to answer people's questions about it because people were so concerned that they were like, dude, is he dying?
Yeah.
So he had to talk about it. I've seen, this is Iwata's quote now, I've seen many comments from people concerned about my weight loss. While it's true that I've lost weight due to a major surgery, my weight has thankfully been stable now for 2.5 months, and I'm progressing well. I'm really grateful for everyone supporting me, the doctors, as well as the hospital staff. So, there. Shut it.
Yeah, he's doing fine.
Yeah. It's not like he's Steve Jobs, that type of thing. Like, I mean, there was a point in Apple's in their stock where like Steve Jobs coughed and like they lost like thousands of dollars in stock, that type of thing. I remember it's like, it's not like it's that, but I mean, he's healthy. He's been recovering. So obviously he's going to take some time for him to come back to normal. Even though, I mean, the magic I guess of makeup and whatnot that. He actually looked his old self, and then you see a picture. It's like, whoa, what the hell? That wasn't the guy I just saw last night.
Yeah.
The hell was this? And in all honesty, it's not like. And to me, it's like he looks skinny, but he looked like an older man.
Yeah, he doesn't look horrible. He looks aged.
Yeah, And I mean, he's going to get that fullness back in his face. Because that was the thing, too. I think his face was just so full and round. And then when you saw this oval-shaped dude that looked like an old man, it's like, whoa, dude. But now he's good.
Good.
Yeah.
Good to hear.
Now, here's an interesting thing that happened during the investor Q&A. Because somebody talked about region locking. Now, here's a quote from Satoru Iwata about region locking. As for what should be done going forward, if unlocked for the benefit of the consumers, there may be also a benefit for us. Conversely, unlocking would require various problems to be solved. So while I can't say today whether or not we intend to unlock, we realize that this is one thing we must consider looking towards the future.
I mean, I would sure appreciate region locking gone.
But that's interesting. What kind of problems are they facing that didn't exist before with the Game Boy Advance? And with other consoles before that were all region-free.
Hey, I'm not a coder. I have no idea.
Well, I don't know if it's maybe coding-wise or money-wise.
Money-wise, or it could be, technology-wise. I doubt it. I doubt it.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know, man. That's just weird, man. There was something interesting that happened in Japan. There was a free kind of demo during the Halloween weekend in Japan of a Luigi's Mansion arcade.
Hmm?
Yeah, it's random. It's, apparently, it's worked on with Capcom, and it seems to be an interesting thing. Not a lot of details about it, but eventually it's supposed to be coming to arcades in Japan in 2015. But I mean, no real details about it. But it looks kind of cool. Like if you can see the box here, but there's not much. I mean, the pictures that were taken with like the outside of it, the casing, and the pictures of it, which looks cool. What it actually can entail, I don't know if you're using the actual the poltergust to actually you actually have a real life one or whatever you're doing.
Walking around with a vacuum inside.
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean maybe hopefully it'll come to the U.S. I hope so.
What is it, like the first Luigi's Mansion or something?
It's actually making a reference to the second one, so I don't know if it could be following the second one or if it's a third separate one. So that's unclear right now.
Interesting.
Nintendo stuff. Pikachu is going to have apparently a new balloon for the Thanksgiving Day parade. The Thanksgiving Day parade, it happens. There's balloons of stuff. And I still remember the first video game character, to my knowledge, was Sonic, which I thought was awesome back in the days because I always loved, I always wanted a video game character there. I was like, where's Mario? Where's Mario? It's like Sonic. It's like, okay, I'll take that.
Sonic's cool, though.
Yeah, Sonic's awesome, especially his first year when he actually, I think, hurt somebody.
Yeah, when he knocked over a lamppost.
Yeah, that story. I think it was his first year or something like that. It was bad. It was tragic. I was like, yay, Sonic. It's like, oh, what happened to his balloon?
At least he's not Bart Simpson, who always, every year, hurts somebody.
Haha. No, I don't know what you mean.
Doesn't Bart Simpson knock over something every year?
I don't know. I didn't even know there was a Bart Simpson thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Bart Simpson always gives problems in the Thanksgiving Day parade. Anyway, we get sidetracked.
Yeah, but here's the thing with Pikachu. He's not going to be fat Pikachu anymore. Like, I remember thinking every year when I saw the Thanksgiving parade, Pikachu's still fat. I'm happy about that. But he's not. He's like a skinny type of Pikachu, and he's holding a snow Pikachu in his hands, or Pichu maybe. But, yeah, that's going to be the new one.
Why does that Pillsbury Doughboy look so scary?
That's good. Well, it's Pillsbury Doughboy, man. You don't know.
He's supposed to be this cute little guy made of dough. He looks so scary.
Oh, maybe he's like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Oh, God.
And when he throws a giant, he's just a scary-looking dude.
It's happening.
Don't cross the streams.
I'm gonna miss the fat Pikachu.
I will. R.I.P. Fat Pikachu. May you lose weight forever or something.
Every year, every time they release a Pokemon game, Pikachu gets a little bit more skinny.
Yeah, man. This society. What's it say about this society, man?
If Pikachu wants to be fat, let it be fat, all right?
Let Pikachu be fat.
Hashtag let Pikachu be fat.
Hashtag free fat Pikachu.
Hashtag we want fat Pikachu.
Hell yeah. Chubby's cute, even if it's unhealthy. What if they have a serious episode of Pokemon where Pikachu has a heart attack? And it's just like, Pikachu, you have to lose weight.
Pikachu's bypass surgery. You're so stupid.
God. Who's
that?
that doctor?
Nurse Joy.
Oh, God.
Nurse Joy, my Pikachu's too fat.
Oh, boy. It looks like we have to do triple bypass surgery.
Right, yeah.
Oh God, we're awful. That's why Pikachu's skinny now. Now. Anyway, Wii U stuff. Mario Kart 8 is basically owned by like almost half of the Wii U owners. If you do the math, if there are 7.29 million units of Wii U's out there, and Mario Kart 8 has sold 3.49, basically that's like almost like there, like almost halfway there.
Yeah, unless someone bought 2 copies.
Yeah, that's true. You gotta look at it that way too. That's true.
What if I bought a copy, it scratched and stopped working, so I had to go buy a new copy?
True.
Huh.
But now here's the other thing too. Now Smash should increase that. Hopefully, I hope Smash sells a lot more than Mario Kart 8, or just a lot in general. But come on now, release it as a bundle. Come on, man. I don't. Come on now.
Yeah.
Come on, Nintendo, do that.
Well, I don't think, at this point, I don't think the bundle's happening.
No, it's too late for that. It's like next week, basically. It's
Well,
like
yeah,
2 weeks from now.
Yeah, 2 weeks. I was really hoping on a Smash bundle.
But you know what it is too? I don't think any console has ever released a fighting game bundle.
I just told you that my GameCube came with Pikmin and Melee.
That's an official one, right?
Yeah.
That wasn't like a Best Buy doing a bundle by itself.
No, it was an official like Nintendo release.
That's
I'm pretty
interesting.
sure.
Yeah. I don't know, because I would think, because they didn't do that with Brawl, they didn't do that with 3DS. Now they're not doing that with Wii U, and even though they should do it with the Wii U, because people would buy that already, because a lot of people who want to own Smash Bros don't own a Wii U.
Yeah, no, I remember opening my GameCube box, and the 2 games were in there too.
No, but I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see what happens. If they release a bundle next year, I'm gonna be so pissed. Like, it'd be so dumb. Speaking of fighting games, though, the creator of the person who worked on games like Skullgirls and Pilgrim vs. the World, talked about in a new edition of Nintendo Force, which is an awesome side magazine. Y'all should check that out. They were talking about Skullgirls working on the Wii U. Now, here's a quote. Probably Skullgirls, since we're working on it, but the chances are very low for that. I'm afraid I'm not a programmer, but there are some technical hurdles we have to overcome, as well as uncertainty to whether or not there's a market for a hardcore fighter on the Wii U. The lineup of indies is getting more and more diverse on the Nintendo consoles, though, so I wouldn't say it's impossible.
Yeah, I just never thought Skullgirls would ever end up on anything Nintendo.
Yeah.
So I'd have to agree with him and say that it's improbable, but not impossible.
Nintendo is talking about a Me app for tablets and phones next year, but I don't know if I fully believe that, because we were supposed to get a Miiverse and another app from Nintendo this year, and they said that last year.
Yeah.
So whatever happened to that, Nintendo?
I mean, I think if the Miiverse were to come to mobile, I would use it more.
But I mean, you can use it on the website. Like, if you go on the Miiverse.com or whatever, you can go on that, and it's basically like almost an app, basically. But and it's pretty cool. I like the features that it had the mobile version have. But give me an app. I think more people would use it like that.
Give me an app for that, man.
Hell yeah! And then finally, talking about Ubisoft and the Wii U. For the Q2 of the fiscal year of 2014-2015, Wii U has accounted for 1% of Ubisoft's software sales.
Well, that's not a lot.
Yeah. It's in the same range as the 3DS, the Vita, and others. The Wii actually accounted for 2% of its sales. And you want to know where most of its sales came from?
Wait, let me guess. Xbox 360.
No, the PlayStation 4.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
PlayStation 4, Xbox 360 accounted for 16%. PlayStation 3 accounted for 19%. So a lot more people who have Sony, like Ubisoft. The Xbox One sold 9%, and then I told you the rest.
I was close, though. I was second.
Now, we talked about Smash Bros., of course, counting for 20% of the digital downloads of the actual game itself in sales. There's bans that happened.
Yeah.
Apparently, last week, multiple people had gotten banned in Smash Bros. For what amounted to 136 years.
Yeah, like, you're banned, your kids are banned, and your grandkids are banned.
It's some sort of glitch, but it talked about it having some sort of ridiculous, thing. It's basically, you were banned for 71,582,710 minutes and 47 seconds. So just about, depending on the time. Some people have been banned for like a few minutes more, a few minutes left, all that stuff. Yeah, that's happened. People have done it.
I got an 8-minute ban once.
You got banned once already in Smash?
I left the game. That's why. I had like
you rage quit?
I rage quit.
Oh.
It was basically like I was fighting this guy. He was Little Macking me before I knew how to fight against Little Mac.
Yeah.
And I just got so like I have one disconnect in my entire like For Glory history. This is one game. Because I didn't know how to, now I know how to fight Little Mac. If you try to bring Little Mac against me, I'll beat you.
Mm-hmm.
But back then I didn't know how to play. It was like when the game like first came out, and I just he was about to two-sock me. I just closed it. I was like, nope.
Only one person got me to upset, but that was like I accidentally closed my 3DS at the the result screen. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't have gotten banned for that, but still. The Wii U versions are box art, which has already been out, I guess hasn't been printed yet because now it's been updated with the Amiibo logo.
Oh, okay.
So I guess that makes sense. It works for Amiibo. Yay. The Smash Bros. Wii U UK update has been upped now. Instead of it coming out December 5th, it's now coming out November 28th, man. You're up there. You're in the same month now.
You had a week after us.
Yeah, now Japan's like super late still. They're getting into December.
December 6th or something, right?
Yeah, Japan, man. I didn't know.
Hey, I don't feel bad. They had the 3DS first.
Yeah, I guess.
And they got the new 3DS before they already have the new 3DS. We don't have it yet.
Yeah, that's
We have to
true.
wait like 3 more months. This is some garbage.
Yeah, seriously. And now the Miiverse had actually some posts, some interesting stuff, like the screen. I mean, even though it's kind of previewed already, I thought that was kind of cool. But I felt like, now that it's official and we see it now, it's like, oh, okay, that's cool. So, I mean, it's just almost like the 3DS menu, but it looks a lot cleaner than before. Like I kind of wasn't a big fan of the 3DS menu. I'm a bigger fan of the Wii U's menu.
It looks pretty similar to me.
Yeah, pretty similar, but it's a little different. And then all the thing on the Miiverse was shown that the actual classic mode, instead of you having a dancing Mario, it's like if the more coins you get, the more underground you get. So if you're on intensity 9, the background changes to like darker colors and stuff, but it's the lower the level, like the lower, like it's more like green grass and like peace. But then when you go like higher levels, you're like in hell basically. But I think that's a pretty cool feature, and it looks beautiful in high definition.
It does.
Yeah. And that's about it for Smash news. Now, like we talked about earlier in the show, a big game came out. Something on the Advanced.
Something on the Game Boy Advance?
Nah, it's something like that, I think. No, it's Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. We don't have any numbers on it yet. Like, normally when a game's released, like, they usually brag it the day later, like, we sold millions. That didn't happen this time. But, yeah. I mean, it's getting some good reviews from what I've seen. A lot of people love it. They love the new fresh campaign that Call of Duty has to offer. The multiplayer, I don't know. I guess I have to depend on the fans on that one. People who love this game or people who are not liking this game. The one difference, of course, that we have to talk about the resolution. Both Call of Duty versions of the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 runs at 60 frames per second, but it's the on the PS4 it's 1080p native, whereas the Xbox One it'll scale all the way up to 1080. So it's not really true 1080, but it's upscaled from 720p. So yeah. I mean, and people still think that the Xbox One is like more powerful, but it's not. Relax. Yeah, but now here's the thing about Call of Duty that we really want to talk about. It's a scene in the game. I don't care if it's spoilers or not, but there's a scene in the game where the funeral happens. I don't know with who, I don't know with what or where, but there's a quick time events or where you press X and you do something. This one's a little odd and getting a lot of criticism because you basically are told to hold X to pay respects during a funeral.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
I mean, why?
I mean, it's a cutscene kind of like why do you need to? It bothers me.
I mean, I don't know. I'm hoping that okay, maybe if you don't pay respects, you pay for it later in the game, or if you do, maybe something good happens to you in the game or something. I would assume a karma factor has to be in on this, but besides that, really?
Yeah. That's kind of dumb. It's really dumb, actually.
Yeah. All right, so Grand Theft Auto 5 had some big announcements this week too. Of course, they're going to be releasing on the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. They're going to release the music collection of Grand Theft Auto 5. It's a multi CD and multi vinyl. Vinyl. Who has vinyl nowadays? And CD. It's going to be featured 59 tracks from Grand Theft Auto 5, and it's going to be limited to 5,000 copies worldwide. So you better get yours, man.
Get it if you want it.
Yeah, if you want it. Now, Grand Theft Auto is doing something different than it's ever done. It went on. I remember Grand Theft Auto when it first started. 1 and 2 had the overhead view. 3 had the option for the overhead, but really you could do third person, which is the first game to do that. And then all these other Grand Theft Autos came out. And now Grand Theft Auto 5 on the PS4, Xbox One, PC will all be able to have you have first-person view.
Cool.
First-person GTA, which is
first person's nice.
Whoa. and it's not a camera shift at all. They actually changed the game a little bit in order for you to have more of a first-person shooter type of feel in this game.
Okay, so it's gonna be like crosshair kind of thing.
Yeah, it's basically like the same game that you played before, but you have the option to go first person, and it changes a little bit so it doesn't, it's not awkward. Because if you still played this game in third person, you can't see people behind you, that type of thing. Like, because normally people would come up behind you, you could see them, and you just kind of turn around or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can put the video up to that. Besides that, the PC version has a one more exclusive feature from Grand Theft Auto, which is it has the capability to be in 4K. Bam. But here's the thing too. PS4 and Xbox One, 1080p, but 30 frames per second.
Oh.
Womp, womp, womp.
You get your 1080p, but you get laggy.
Yeah, that's the new generation.
It's unfortunately.
Talking about Activision going on to sales or going on to old console, then console stuff. Activision reported $753 million in net revenue for the third quarter of the fiscal year ending September 30th, a 9% increase over the $691 million revenue recorded in the same period last year. Boom. Activision is doing very well.
Very nice.
Looking ahead, they're raising their predictions by 2%, their full-year projections by 2%, because of the positive quarter 3, and now expects to earn $3.25 billion in net revenue in 2014. 1.492 billion of which is expected in the next quarter, by the way. Besides the continued sales of Destiny, there's also Call of Duty out, Hearthstone, which I actually didn't know that was Activision, and it's actually coming on the iPhone and Android next year, so that could be big sellers for them too.
Nice.
Now, here's the thing that Activision talked about too, which is really funny and really weird too, because they talked about Destiny. Now, I think somebody noticed on Kotaku that Activision, Bungie, none of them's ever said how many copies of Destiny have been sold. They talked about how much it's made. They talked about how many players are playing. It's reached, so far, Activision had to say that it reached 9.5 million registered players, but that's not really, referring to all of them because that's, PlayStation Network and Xbox accounts. But that doesn't really count the PC players. But I want to find out how many have sold in total, and they won't say that, and I don't know why. Is it bad? Is that bad news? I don't know what the hell that means.
I don't know. I would like to know as well.
The E.T. documentary that was filmed a couple of months ago is going to be debuting November 20th on the Xbox Live. So if you have Xbox Live, you could check out that excavation documentary of E.T. And speaking of that E.T. excavation in New Mexico, you can actually start bidding on those games.
If you want.
Yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, you could bid on the stuff that came from the ground, like E.T. and other games that were found there.
What other games were found there?
I don't know.
Because I know they went there to find the E.T. games.
Yeah, but there was a bunch of other games too. Probably Pac-Man, I believe. Asteroids actually is in there. These games are actually going over $100 right now.
Wow.
This is Asteroids is in there. A few copies of that. Missile Command is there. All that stuff, and it's already going for lots of money. Crushed up video games that nobody can use, but it was part of a history, man.
I mean, I would. They're crushed up, really?
Yeah, they're all crushed up. Some of them in the boxes still.
Wait, hold on. No. I mean, I would have loved to have seen somebody get a copy of the ET that worked and then, like, play it.
I mean, there's copies out there. But, you know.
Working one? Like,
yeah, there's actual working copies out there.
I thought every copy of the game, like,
No,
they never even got shipped. Like, I thought they were just like...
They were the ones that didn't sell. That's the ones they crushed up and put in New Mexico. But there's people who bought the game. It's very rare for you to find one. But
I was under the impression that, like, no one ever got the game because it never went to, like, never got sold. Like, it just, like, got cut.
No, it made the retail. It just nobody bought it. So Sony stuff now. Now Sony has announced that they have released or actually put out shipped 13.5 million different consoles. Now, that doesn't mean that they sold that much because they're still up to that 10 million number. But, I mean, hey, at this point, it might reach 13, you know, by the end of the year, maybe even more, especially with the holiday season coming up.
Maybe.
But in the second quarter of 2014, they sold 3.3 million PS4s. The game division is doing very well of Sony, but Sony's actually losing some money in the in other services. Which, you know, we've talked about. You know, like, let's give you an example. The Game and Network Services division made $2.77 billion US dollars, and that's an 83% increase year on year. And it's turned last year's 4.2 billion yen loss into a profit of 21.8 billion, which is amounted to $195.5 million profit.
Wow.
So, yeah, but the other ones that are not, like, you know, the three, like, there's other divisions that are turning profit. The only ones that are losing are mobile communications and other, basically, are losing money for Sony. So that's a good and bad thing for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know.
What's under other?
Other, I don't know. That's what I want to know. What's other? What's Sony's other business that they're not talking about, huh?
Right, to like chop up dead bodies.
I don't know what's going on there, man.
Listen, you got to get to the Sony's other business, Alina, right?
Yeah, that illegal Sony business that they do, that underground stuff.
Working with the Yakuza.
Oh, God. Let's not even go there, dude. Let's not even go there. PlayStation Plus subscriber count is up to 7.9 billion. Fucking billion. Fuck. There's not even that many people on this earth.
7.9 billion.
There's 7.9 million users are signed up for the PlayStation Plus, which is really good. People want to pay for the Sony network, and apparently it's paying off, especially with the newer consoles, the PS4, the PS Vita, and the PS3.
Yeah, let's just hope it doesn't get hacked.
Yeah, again, that will turn people off and make people buy a Microsoft. Maybe that's what Microsoft's planning. Microsoft's going to plan the biggest hack on Sony, and that's how they're going to sell their consoles. I mean, hey, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, right?
Play dirty.
Yeah. And at this point, Sony's consoles are working again. Because last week we kind of skipped on this story because I was kind of like, eh. But apparently there was an update of the PS4 version 2.00 that apparently broke people's consoles because there was a thing called rest mode, which, it goes on standby and you can charge your controllers. It downloads like updates to games and all that. It's basically on standby. The problem with the version 2.0 update is that it wouldn't turn back on after that. So
yeah.
So now with all the issues, lots of people had issues with it. Now there's a version 2.01 which fixes the rest mode break, and so now this should be work now.
Oh, that's good.
And then this is a little interesting tidbit that I wanted to bring from Sony. Little Big Planet 3 is going to support past DLC, which I don't think other games do that, in all honesty.
I don't think so either. That sounds really cool.
Yeah, instead of you having to buy, like Call of Duty, where you buy basically, freaking the same zombie, whatever thing again, like here's zombies again. It's like, oh, everything you bought in the past, just bring it all over, man. Every DLC for Little Big Planet 2 will carry over to Little Big Planet 3, so that's really awesome.
Nice. All
right, going to Microsoft. We only have one thing for Microsoft. Apparently somebody had put in on their LinkedIn profile, this is actually coming from Eurogamer, so I really want to give credit to them, that it's a processor that they're putting together that they think is going to be the thinner Xbox One console. This is coming from a LinkedIn from Daniel McConnell, who is AMD's Senior Manager of System and Chip Physical Design. He was talking about the APU for the Microsoft Xbox One, and a 28 nm, which I don't know what that means, the technical stuff, technology, and cost-reduced derivative in 20 nm technology. So basically, the Xbox One's processor is fabricated at 28 nm, which means each transistor measures 28,000 millionths of a meter. So a processor for the Xbox One that could be 20 nm would lower the cost and the power of the Xbox One. So, I mean, they're already thinking about releasing another thinner console that just came out.
But it's also going to be lower power, too.
Yeah, so how does that work with the new games that are out already for the Xbox One? If they can't handle the power, what's the point of doing that then?
I don't know.
Unless they're coming up with something clever where it can handle more power, who knows?
Maybe.
The retail version of Oculus Rift, according to the CEO of Oculus Rift, is months away. So we're finally going to be able to personally own our Oculus Rift.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I'm not getting one, but yeah.
We're all hungry for it to happen, says Brendan Uribe. We're very close. It's months, not years away, but many months. So,
Many months.
Yeah.
Like, more than 12. That's a year.
You never know. It could happen. And now, this is a story I knew it was interesting to you. There's a fan-made Pokemon game that was brought to my attention, and apparently it's really exciting. I don't know if you want to go into that.
It is pretty cool. I looked at it briefly. It's the big complaint about Pokemon so far has been that every time they have a cool feature, they kind of just like get rid of it in the next game. So everyone's always like, wait, what?
Example?
Heart Gold, Soul Silver. You were able to have a Pokemon follow you around. That was awesome. Next game, nope.
That sucks. I mean, I liked it when Pokemon like Yellow, where you had Pikachu follow you,
Right.
but it kind of coincided with the anime, which it was like, okay, that makes sense. But
Right, that game was based loosely on the anime, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I did like the fact that you had a Pokemon follow you, and having a Pokemon follow you was kind of interesting.
Yeah,
It's
no,
kinda like the
I
anime.
loved Heart. That's why Heart Gold, Soul Silver is one of my favorite Pokemon games, is because you have a Pokemon follow you around.
That's awesome.
Also, it's also a remake of my favorite Gold and Silver, but you know, I'm trying to think of some others. X and Y's trainer customization, everyone loves it. And for Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, nope.
I wonder why.
I don't know. I mean, they've also the secret bases are coming back.
We
and
did talk about that actually, where they said that it's like,
Well, yeah,
it has to do with the region and all this other stuff in France and
is for
style.
style
It's
and
like, no, you just add it.
Yeah, but the original Ruby Sapphire had secret bases. People loved it. Nope.
But see, now there's a game called Pokemon Insurgents. Now, tell me about that one.
Pokemon Insurgents is kind of just it's got all the things that people wanted from Pokemon game to transfer over to each thing. Also, it has options for Nuzlocke, which people like to do. It's got options for Egglock. It's a lot of fun.
Basically,
I'm
everything
gonna
that
look
was
into this.
basically everything that was taken out of past Pokemon are in this game that people want.
Right, and it also has its own. There are some custom Mega Evolutions in the game. Although I'm pretty sure the engine is Generation 4.
Yeah,
so it's not.
It looks very old school Game Boy Advance.
It's not Game Boy Advance.
I mean,
that's
DS. Yeah, sorry.
But it's still going to be. I still think it looks really cool. It's a ROM hack. I'm going to look into that.
Hell yeah.
So I might try that out.
Now,
So I love doing the Nuzlocke runs, but it's like you have to be honest about it.
Mhm.
Whereas if you put in the Nuzlocke option in this Insurgents game, it's going to do it for you.
Gotcha.
Which that's the one where if Pokemon faints, it's dead and you can't use it anymore.
Wow.
So it's like Pokemon in hard mode.
That's sick.
So yeah, it's gonna be really cool.
Now we're going we esports now. We're talking about esports stuff. In Major League Gaming, it's gonna be hosting the Counter-Strike Global Offensive Invitational, and it's gonna be part of the X Games. So yes, MLG is coming back to X Games. X Games Aspen is gonna be running from January 23rd to the 25th of next year, and the highlights are gonna be broadcast on MLG.TV. And it's also going to be sharing highlights on ESPN, ABC, and the X Games digital platforms, which I think is pretty freaking cool.
Esports is making its way up, man. We've had this conversation before.
Even though ESPN had talked about, esports not being a sport, but there it is back on ESPN.
Supporting it.
Yeah. Halo is actually getting its own esports league. Basically, it's almost in coincidence that it's going to be coming out with the Master Chief Collection. There's a new esports league dedicated to Halo. So yeah, Halo competitively might be coming back to life. And now there's going to be a Halo Championship Series, and the grand prize is going to be $50,000.
Oh boy.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's going to be a launch invitational tournament. It's going to be beginning November 8th, actually. So you can watch it on the official Halo Twitch channel. The 9th is actually Sunday, so it's going to start Sunday. That's pretty cool.
Nice.
Oh, no, the 8th. All right, so yeah, it's going to begin the 8th. The game's actually coming out the 9th. So,
Okay.
yeah, man. Yeah, we may have to check that out. Maybe I'll finally get into first-person shooter esports. I just can't. I tried it. I don't know. Maybe I'll try with Halo. I don't know.
Depends on the game.
Yeah, I guess. There's a top player of League of Legends that's almost worth $1 million, man. It's a LOL star Lee Faker Sang-hyuk.
Faker.
Yeah.
SKT1's all-star mid laner, who everyone, basically people say he's like the best player in the world.
He's currently making about $98,000 to about $147,000 a year from playing League of Legends. But they don't count the prize money or revenue paid or anything like, of that source. One person that's supposedly a source saying to Kotaku, because this is the article that I'm getting it from, a company offered a $490,000 transfer fee for the player along with an annual salary of $196,000. Another company offered him $294,000 transfer fee and a 2-year contract worth $686,000. Wow. Yeah, so...
Pays to be the best.
Yeah, I don't know, man. If you're going to be worth like that much, I don't know. Besides him, another League of Legends player is actually retiring, and he's actually he made like basically his name is he's a trainee pro player, Kao Mai. He was making $491 a month. After retiring, his contract is going to pay him over $800,000 a year to stream League.
God,
esports.
That's much. That's too much.
All right, now lightning round before we get to the end of this stuff. The Mighty Number 9 is going to be asking for not more money now, which I don't know. I'm kind of feeling some type of way about them keeping on asking for money. I don't know. But you can get the post-release DLC pack consisting of extra stage with its own boss fight, and they're asking for $190,000 for that by the end of this year. Sticking with like PC stuff, in all honesty, funny enough, going back to that, someone made Mario Kart in Team Fortress 2, which I don't know how they did it, but this shit looks really cool. I never owned Team Fortress, but this game looks really awesome.
You could do anything in Team Fortress.
I know,
ridiculous.
it's like so like everything's been done in Team Fortress. It's like the new like Half-Life 2 where you can mod anything into it.
There's so many Half-Life 2 mods. There's so many Team Fortress mods. It's ridiculous. Interesting though.
Oh, yeah. So, and then some government-related stuff. The Electronic Frontier Foundation filed a petition to the Library of Congress and the United States Copyright Office over the modification of abandoned games. That specifically like games that require an online connection to prevent piracy. The EFF is looking to change the current laws that would deem mods that would strip identification checks as fair use of the software after developers take those systems offline. And they're looking at games like Civilization 5 and Mario Kart Wii as a source for that, because people still want to play those games online.
Yeah.
So and there's other games that are mentioned in this. People want that, especially if people legally own these games and they want to play them online, they should be able to do that.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Hopefully, let's see what Congress makes of that and see what happens there. And then finally, another study has shown that there's no correlation between video game violence and real-world violence.
What is like the 10th study that's shown all this?
I can't. Christopher Ferguson is a well-known researcher in the psychology of violent media's effects on real-life behavior, violent behavior. The Stetson University professor talked about numerous times about how there's no evidence of it. And there's a new study that wants to talk about that's working with a study that of consumption of video games from 1996 to 2011 against federal data on youth violence rates during the same period. What did it find? Well, Ferguson really said that video games are truly a cause of real-life violence. You'd expect youth violence rates to increase during this period as graphic violence in video games became more prominent during this time. So that study, again, shows that there's no correlation.
Yeah.
So here's a quote. Society has a limited amount of resources and attention to devote to the problem of reducing crime. There's a risk that identifying the wrong problems such as media violence may distract society from more pressing concerns such as poverty, education, and vocational disparities and mental health. This research may also may help society focus on issues that really matter and avoid devoting unnecessary resources to pursuit of moral agendas with little practical value. Boom.
Boom.
Stop your shit, people. Basically.
Yeah, you know what though? There's always gonna be people who are gonna say, "Oh, the two are connected." They're not.
They're not. Stop your shit. Stop it. Just stop
For
it.
real.
And that's about it for the Two Broke Gamers podcast. Well, to be able to, of course, thank Rob of the Rob and Sim Show, a longtime friend of mine, to stopping by the show, saying hi and everything.
Yes,
yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, we're going to have interviews now, man. I wonder who's going to be our next guest. Ooh.
I don't know. Ooh, we're gonna work on some things.
Yeah, man. Oh, yeah. Something interesting happened. We should have talked about that in the beginning of the show. But video is dead. We unfortunately had Vinny, our guy, that we've known for, I guess, a little while, bail on us. He quit. The project became too much for him. And you know what? It is what it is. I mean, we wish Vinny the best of luck and whatever he does. And, you know, whatever it is. I mean, we'll promote the guy. You know, his website is still on our YouTube channel that we shouted him out on, so he's still going to be there. Whether we're going to use the new intro that he left us, he said we can use it. I'm a little iffy about that. I don't know. I mean, if you saw an intro in this video, then we used it. If not, then it is what it is.
Yeah.
You can follow us on Twitter at 2BroGamersPod. It's the number 2, 2BroGamersPod. Follow myself at TEH_Rick.
You can follow me at Steve B. Agilism, AGILISM.
And you can find our blog that'll eventually be worked on, 2BrokeGamersPodcast.wordpress.com. And we will see you all next week. Enjoy it. Have fun.
Yeah.